Another method that the Illuminati use to manipulate the masses is through the mainstream media. With full ownership of all worldwide entertainment corporations, they can project any thought, image, or emotion that they wish. And their true messages are always created to address the subliminal and access the subconscious aspect of our brain. When we are not in tune with ourselves and our subconscious reality, we stand to receive distorted moralities and ideologies of which affect our waking conscious reality. These manipulations occur daily in the mediums of television, radio, print and internet news, magazines, music, sports, advertising, and even charity events.
Now, a lot of you must have been wondering or thinking that these conspiracy theories on the internet can't be true, because if it was, it would be all over the news. Well, you must remember that the news and the truth are not the same. And if you realize the media is controlled, you can understand how information is controlled.
Remember that the elite own all of these news outlets, and nothing gets released or put out into the public unless they allow it to happen. If there is any information out there that goes against what they want you to be thinking, then they use their power to avert everyone's attention elsewhere through some created scandal or through direct demonization of the truth being spread. This way, less people know what some others know, and those who don't know will outcast those who do because they'll seem crazy and unbalanced. Generally, many millions rely on the mainstream news to keep them up to date on our world, not to create a falsified illusion. Through bombardment of negativity, many give up searching their own truth and give the responsibility to corporate news outlets, which is very dangerous.
And they know that the majority of the population will be tuned into their programming. Therefore, they take full advantage of the situation. The global elite make us think, feel, and act the same, so it is much easier to control our lives.
What they do is they create a problem. Like, for example, say 9/11. They stage a situation where there's a conflict between two sides, like the US and terrorists. They await the reactions of the public and force them to choose a side, usually in the name of patriotism. Then the patriotic solution to the problem is what they intended to happen to begin with.
I know you said there'll be a time for politics, but you've also said you wanted to change the tone of Washington. Howard Dean recently seemed to muse aloud whether you had advanced knowledge of 9/11. Do you agree or disagree with the RNC that this kind of rhetoric borders on political hate speech?
Yeah. Look, there's time for politics. And, you know, it's time for politics. And, it's an absurd insinuation.
In that case, sir, can I follow up on something unrelated?
The paradigm of PRS is used to secretly create a societal problem for which citizens will likely look to their government for an answer and to offer the solution that best fits their agenda. It's a game of bait and switch where we are constantly bullied through fear into doing things we otherwise would not accept.
That's the reaction part. If you can scare anyone, you can control that person into submitting to whatever you want. They scare us to comply to their rules and restrictions.
A lot of information that you find on mainstream media is full of propaganda and has been fabricated to make you think a certain way. Don't give in to this. Don't let a box tell you what to do, and instead think for yourself. They have made people look up to the idiot box for guidance and have made us believe that what it gives us is the reality of things, but it's anything but that. They have even made fact out as mere fiction, so that meaningful, truthful, and esoteric material and information can be presented through film and we won't recognize or even think upon the fact that it could be true. Overwhelming subliminals are heaped into music because not only does music have a way of coaxing our emotions into action, also the youngest members of our world sometimes literally become emulations of their musical role model. With this reality, the Illuminati system has had much to gain by instilling subliminal implications into music. Of course, not all become zombies or sponges and emulate all they see, but when looked at collectively as a society, it becomes almost impossible to stem the tide of distorted moralities pumped into the productions, and to stay focused on reality. We may be sure of ourselves, but how sure are we of the intentions of others? How often do we equate a person's personality to the music they listen to? This divide and rule happens in the music industry and is pushed by media.
When we listen to and watch these negative aspects of this illusion, we subconsciously take it in and are programmed to accept that.
And the same is done with advertisements too. We see constant invitations from big companies to join their club and visit their institutions. But we also see the obvious programming and controlling of how we think. Ads exposing women and using sex to intrigue you to what they have to offer, and even making you believe that you need that product to be accepted by others. They use the media to set the latest trends and tell you what is new and old. They tell us what to believe and what not to believe, and with this tool alone are maintaining their power at an extraordinary level.
The global elite have always used this to their advantage, and since its introduction, it has been used as a global deception device. What we all must do is reject and boycott these large studio corporations that produce nothing but lies. Doing this is key to finding your true self.